Batman Arkham Knight has one of the highest PC minimum specifications I have ever seen. Starting off, you must be running Windows 8.1 or Windows 7, and you have to have at least 45 gigabytes of available hard disk space. Next, you have to have 6 gigabytes of random access memory RAM, and a AMD Phenom 2 X4965 processor running at 3.4 GHz, or a first generation Intel Core i5-750 running at 2.67 GHz. The graphics card requirements get bumped up a bit higher. For NVIDIA, you have to have a GeForce GTX 660 with at least 2 gigabytes of memory, and on the AMD side, an AMD Radeon HD 7950. So any graphics card older than 3 years is out of luck and most likely will not be able to run this game. For an internet connection, you need a pretty good internet connection to download the massive 35 gigabyte installation file, and a broadband connection to play and connect to WB Play. And for the DirectX version, you should have at least version 11 installed. These are the minimum PC specifications, and they are quite stringent, and not many consumer PCs will be able to meet it. Starting off with the 6 gigabytes of RAM, most consumer computers only have 4 gigabytes of RAM, so this game is pretty much made for gamers with gaming computers. And on the graphics card side, one very interesting note is that AMD users will experience a ton of issues. Now, right before the release date, Warner Bros. Bumped up the minimum specs for an AMD graphics card from 2 gigabytes to 3 gigabytes of memory. And even now, after the game has released, if you have an AMD card, you might be out of luck, as AMD does not have the comparable NVIDIA GameWorks features, and they are working out a bunch of issues. Now, those were only the PC minimum specifications. The manufacturer recommends that you have at least 55 gigabytes of hard drive space in order for the game to freely write and save game files and read the game data, and a minimum memory configuration of 8 gigabytes of RAM. And then for the processor, you're recommended to have an i7 or an FX8350, an 8-core processor, or a 6-core processor, I mean. And on the graphics card, they recommend latest going only one generation back, the GTX 760 with 3 gigabytes of memory. And as you can see from the recommended specifications, they don't list a comparable AMD Radeon card, which is quite suspect, and they're really pushing you to play the game on NVIDIA. So to sum it all up, if you want to play this game comfortably and have it run pretty smoothly, you should have a graphics card that's pretty recent, this generation or the last one. Preferably you have a GTX 900 series like the 970 or the 980, or even a Titan. And one aspect that isn't mentioned in the recommended specifications is that this game will run a lot better on an SD solid state drive because of how much reading and writing is going on. The load time for a level is absolutely unbelievable. It's well over 30 seconds. If you don't have an SSD, the other solution is to load the game on an external hard drive that will greatly improve the gameplay and prevent lags and stutters, because one issue many people are experiencing is that the game lags or stutters because it can't read and write off of the same disk well enough. So, I hope that you are able to meet these minimum specifications and that you have a PC that can run this great, amazing game and see how awesome it is for yourself.